the floor is yours. The floor is yours.
Very formal, huh? I thought I want to relax with all the press. Minum kopi, relax. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Apa khabar semua? Hari ini kita telah memulakan kita punya persidangan. Three foreign ministers meeting were held today. We started our meeting, informal meeting yesterday on Troika. Three countries involved, Malaysia, Laos, and Philippines. Malaysia being the present chairman, Laos was the former chairman, and incoming chairman is Philippines. It's a Troika. Then after that, we have extended Troika, all the ASEAN foreign ministers. We discussed about this Myanmar issue, how best way forward, how that we handle Myanmar. One thing that for sure everybody agreed that Myanmar government SEC must comply with the 5-point consensus, which they themselves agreed as one of the signatories of the 5-point consensus. Yeah? So that is the gist of our Troika yesterday, and we want to see this ceasefire, that they have ceasefire, we have to extend this ceasefire, and this, we must have this unhindered humanitarian aid to those affected areas in Myanmar. The rest, we're talking about dialogue with all the stakeholders, and then only we look at the possibility of how best that can way forward for Myanmar. Today, this morning, we started our meeting at 9 o'clock, ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, then followed by ASEAN Political Security Community, APSC Council meeting, and after that, we have this 36th ASEAN Coordinating Council meeting. On ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, ASEAN community building, we reaffirm the importance and crucial role of the TAC in guiding peaceful relations and cooperation among ASEAN member states and external partners. We welcome the ACV, ASEAN Community Vision 2045, that will be adopted at the 46th Summit tomorrow as a bold new vision laying the foundation for the next 2 decades. We welcome the convening of the second ASEAN GCC Summit and the ASEAN GCC China Summit, reflecting ASEAN growing partnership in economic integration and cooperation. That will be on the 27th. On the implementation of the 5-point consensus, ASEAN continued to reaffirm the 5-point consensus as ASEAN's main reference on the issue and call on Myanmar's SEC to implement it meaningfully. We further call for inclusive political dialogue among all parties in Myanmar. In the meeting, agrees that we would like to task ASEAN Secretariat to take full assessment of the 5-point consensus. On Timor-Leste full membership in ASEAN, we express support to facilitating Timor-Leste in its accession process to ASEAN legal instrument to become a full member to ASEAN. We noted that ASEAN SOM senior official meeting will continue deliberations on guidelines under AMM and request that the SOM senior official meeting proceed accordingly. On external relations, we underscored the importance of strengthening ASEAN unity and centrality in our engagement with external partners through the various ASEAN-led mechanisms. We noted a proposal for the draft decision on ASEAN's engagement with external parties to be deliberated at the next ASEAN ministerial meeting in July. We're going to have our AMM post-ministerial meeting in July. We further note that the SOM have tasked the SOM working group to deliberate and finalize the draft decision. We also noted a review on the application of Ukraine as the sectoral dialogue partner will be undertaken and request that SOM proceed accordingly. Furthermore, many have underscored the importance of strengthening ASEAN unity and centrality in facing global uncertainty and challenges. We also highlighted the need to enhance intra-ASEAN trade and investment. The meeting also agreed for ASEAN to undertake internal ASEAN consultations on the proposal for permanent ASEAN Special Envoy on Myanmar. Otherwise, we take turns. Every year we change special envoy, then we have to start all over again, and there's no end to it. So that we have agreed we want to explore. And majority just not agree. Nobody said otherwise. And just a matter of who going to be the permanent special envoy, maybe on 3-year term first. And proposal on establishment on special task force for Timor-Leste, we agree on that. On this matter, as mentioned by ASEAN Secretary General, there is already a Timor-Leste unit. So we have a Timor-Leste unit been established at the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta. Yeah? This is to expedite and also to assist Timor-Leste in compliance with all the legal instruments they need to sign. There's a lot of instruments that need to comply with. The Timor-Leste unit, which is tasked with facilitating Timor-Leste's fulfillment of the roadmap, including its accession to the legal instrument. On Southeast Asia Nuclear Weapon Free Zone, or SONFES, Commission meeting 25th May, immediately after the AMM, the SONFES Commission convened immediately after the AMM to adopt the draft addendum to the SONFES Treaty, which was finalized by the SONFES Executive Committee on the 29th of April 2025. This addendum provides the necessary legal basis for ASEAN member states and Timor-Leste to undertake domestic procedures for accession to the SONFES Treaty. The adoption of the addendum marks a significant milestone integrating Timor-Leste into ASEAN's political and security frameworks. With the adoption of the addendum and the deposit of the addendum with Thailand as the depository state, ASEAN member states will now begin undertaking their respective domestic legal procedure with a view to finalize Timor-Leste's accession process by the 47th ASEAN Summit and related summit in October 2025, hopefully. There's a caveat there, hopefully. On 29 ASEAN Political Security Community Council meeting, APSC, the meeting discussed recent developments in the sectoral bodies under the APSC pillar and the significant progress in the implementation of the APSC Blueprint 2025. We also reviewed the progress of implementation of the APSC Blueprint 2025 and preparations for its end-term review. We reaffirm the commitment to advancing the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 and welcome the development of the upcoming APSC Strategic Plan, a forward-looking framework for a peaceful, secure, adaptive, and resilient ASEAN. We express concern on the rise of transnational crime in the region, particularly online scams, money laundering, and job scams. We recognize the need for ASEAN to increase efforts, strengthen collaboration to curtail the threat of cyber crimes. We note the proposal to identify national focal points on security agencies in addressing security threats. We further recognize the need to address the challenges arising from the emerging technologies in the digital domain, such as artificial intelligence, big data, and quantum computing. On 36th ASEAN Coordinating Council, or ACC, which is also immediately after that, the ACC reviewed ASEAN's progress under ASEAN Community Vision 2025 and aligned priorities towards ASEAN 2045, that is our shared future. The meeting discussed the status of key reports to be submitted at the summit, including updates on Timor-Leste's preparations towards full ASEAN membership. The meeting endorsed the final report on a high-level task force on ASEAN Community Vision 2045 and agreed for the submission of ASEAN Community Vision 2045 document for ASEAN leaders' adoption. The ASEAN Chair expressed appreciation to all ASEAN member states, the co-chairs of the HLTF, High-Level Task Force, ACV, and the ASEAN Secretariat for their valuable contributions to the vision. With the schedule signed of the Kuala Lumpur Declaration on ASEAN 2045 by ASEAN leaders on 26th of May, that is tomorrow. It marks a strategic milestone in guiding ASEAN's future community building efforts and regional leadership. The meeting noted 5 substantive reports and endorsed 6 reports for submission to the leaders, reflecting the wide-ranging and cross-sectoral work undertaken across the 3 community pillars of ASEAN. On Timor-Leste's membership in ASEAN, the meeting welcomed the operationalization of Timor-Leste's unit, which plays a crucial role in supporting Timor-Leste's integration into ASEAN. We commended the meaningful progress made by Timor-Leste in implementing the roadmap as reflected in the progress report. We also recognize the ongoing efforts by ASEAN member states in providing Timor-Leste with capacity building assistance, which is crucial for expediting the process of Timor-Leste's inclusion as a full member of ASEAN. We reaffirmed our strong support for Timor-Leste's full membership in ASEAN, particularly in its efforts to fulfill the remaining criteria outlined in the roadmap. We noted the proposal for Timor-Leste to be granted ASEAN membership this year, and at the same time, Timor-Leste will continue to work towards fulfilling the criteria as stipulated in the roadmap. In conclusion, all recommendations agreed at the ministerial level today will be further discussed and deliberated at the leaders level tomorrow. That's all. Cukup. Soalan tanya dengan KSU dengan DG. This working level. Ada apa nak tanya? Ya.
Mike, please.
Apa nak tanya?
Soalan manja.
Soalan manja? Apa dia?
Tak, Datuk Seri, sebelum Datuk Seri kata kemungkinan besar Timor-Leste akan jadi anggota ASEAN Oktober ni, so boleh, is there any kepastian daripada Malaysia yang Oktober ni akan pasti dapat?
Saya cakap tadi kan hopefully tadi. There's a caveat there, hopefully, but we are trying our very best to facilitate and also to help to assist Timor-Leste, because majority, a lot of all countries, in fact, for that matter, we want to see that Timor-Leste will be admitted as one part of ASEAN, a big family of ASEAN. But now Timor-Leste have to work doubly hard to fulfill all the conditions and all those the legal instruments they have to comply with. So failing which, I think quite difficult, but we try our very best. So we try and kita cubalah ya kalau boleh. Ya, ada apa lagi?
Okey, Datuk Seri, Syafiq Astro AWANI. Yeah. Datuk Seri tahun lepas ada menyatakan sewaktu Mesyuarat Menteri-Menteri Luar ASEAN di Vientiane tahun lepas, Datuk Seri kata antara keperluan utama Timor-Leste untuk menyertai ASEAN ialah melengkapkan 84 instrumen, dan Malaysia pada tahun lalu berkata, Datuk Seri berkata Malaysia berharap boleh capai 25% daripada 84 instrumen itu. Mungkin Datuk Seri boleh kongsikan perkembangan terkini perkara tersebut yang dicapai oleh Myanmar setakat ini, Timor-Leste setakat ini, Datuk Seri, dan juga mungkin isu Laut Cina Selatan ada disebut tak Datuk Seri dalam sepanjang pertemuan hari ini, Datuk Seri? Terima kasih. Berkenaan
dengan legal instrument yang perlu yang diperakukan oleh Timor-Leste, instrumen-instrumen tersebut banyak lagi yang Timor-Leste perlu buat. Kita dah lihat daripada 84 tu kita dah turunkan kepada 66. Di kebanyakannya adalah di bawah EAC, ASEAN Economic Council. Di bawah APAC dia semua dah buat dah. Ya. Jadi yang ekonomi punya tu. Jadi kita nak supaya Timor-Leste berusaha, dan kita cuba untuk membantu Timor-Leste untuk mereka dapat mematuhi legal instrument tersebut, dan juga kita juga meneroka cadangan supaya jika dia tak boleh buat pun kita bagi dia jangka masa. Bagi dia masuk dulu, ini kita nak apalah, itu pulang kepada peringkat kepimpinan negara. Ya. Kemudian dia boleh fulfill dalam jangka masa katakan 5 tahun, dia mesti fulfill all the conditions. Jadi ini cara untuk kita pastikan supaya dia bersamaan dengan tema ASEAN kita tahun ni, iaitu inclusivity and sustainability. We must be inclusive. Timor Leste adalah merupakan negara di dalam ASEAN dan mereka sepatutnya kita masukkan mereka di dalam kumpulan negara ASEAN sebagai anggota penuh. Tapi Timor Leste mesti bekerja kuat untuk mereka memenuhi sebahagian besar daripada keperluan-keperluan undang-undang ataupun legal instrument yang perlu mereka patuhi.
Datuk Seri, sementara dari bernama, kalau dilihat junta tentera Myanmar, dia telah berulang kali tidak patuhi 5 paisi, tidak ambil serius lah. So mungkin ada cadangan tak untuk mengenakan sekatan bersasar ataupun meningkatkan koordinasi dengan macam PBB, G7 untuk pelaksanaan lebih efisien. Terima kasih.
5-point consensus itu merupakan tunggak kepada jalan penyelesaian yang telah dipersetujui bersama oleh semua kepimpinan ASEAN. Ya? Dan kepimpinan SAC Myanmar juga merupakan salah seorang daripada penandatangan 5-point consensus tersebut. Kita 5-point consensus ini tak ada apa sangat dia punya masalah jika ada kejujuran dan keikhlasan. Ya. Kerana yang kita perlukan supaya mereka stop the hostility, ceasefire, berunding, talk to each other and bring everybody and talk to everybody and make sure that there's unhindered humanitarian aid. Yang lain-lain tu bila dah bersama-sama nanti kita pastikan supaya Myanmar kembali semula untuk mereka mengadakan sebuah kerajaan yang fully democratic government. So itu saja. Dan kita tidak mahu orang kata mengambil tindakan lain luar pada itu. Kerana kita pastikan supaya isu dalaman ASEAN ini biarlah ASEAN yang menyelesaikannya, tetapi kita mengalu-alukan sebarang bentuk orang kata bantuan ataupun sokongan daripada pihak luar, terutamanya di dalam kita memberikan bantuan kemanusiaan kepada rakyat Myanmar yang memerlukan bantuan.
Hi, Datuk Seri.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm from Nikkei. I just wanted to ask you 2 questions. The first one is on Myanmar. Myanmar has announced that they will be holding an election end of this year or early next year. So after they have elected the government, is ASEAN planning to invite Myanmar back to ASEAN, or that they have to fulfill the 5 points consensus first? And the second question is on Timor-Leste. We've been reading a lot of news reports that Philippines has been blocking the full membership of Timor-Leste because due to the extradition problem with the former politician of Philippines. So I just want to find out from you, is Philippines still blocking this thing? Thank you.
Let me answer you on the second question. There's no truth what you heard. There's only rumors. So don't listen to rumors. Okay? And the first question is with regards to election. We have already sent a very strong signal message to Myanmar that we would want that Myanmar to comply with 5-point consensus first. Yeah? Stop the hostilities, ceasefire, sit down together with all parties, with the stakeholders, and then let this humanitarian aid reach the respective area. Yeah? And then only we talk about election. There's no point having election if it is partially participated by people of Myanmar. That will aggravate the situation further. So as far as ASEAN is concerned, we are very much insist upon this 5-point consensus to be fulfilled by this SAC. That is not a priority of ASEAN. What is the point if it is just a whitewash to cover up in the eye of international community? So there's no point. But it's up to them. If they want to be responsible ASEAN members, then I think they should be together and then stick to the 5-point consensus, and we are ever willing to assist in whatever way that we can help Myanmar. Okay?
Terima kasih, Jan Hinop from Agence France Presse.
Sama-sama.
Datuk Seri, I wanted to ask you about a comment on Ukraine as a special dialogue partner. How was that decision taken and why? And can you give a little bit more detail on what ASEAN is going to do in terms of that? And then secondly, on East Timor, and please forgive me if that's already been explained. My Bahasa I'm still learning.
You can get the answer from me.
Thank you.
You can translate for me.
The question is, what are the outstanding issues that ASEAN would like to see East Timor fulfill in the next couple of months, hopefully to a full accession, as you say, in October? Terima kasih. Thank you.
Sama-sama. Nombor satu tadi apa? Ukraine, I think we have already asked the SOM level to deliberate it further, yeah? So that we want to explore how best that we can rope in Ukraine in the agreement. That's on Ukraine. There's no issue on that. Number two, on Timor-Leste. We call it Timor-Leste, no more East Timor. Because they're independent state, Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste have no issue. So as I mentioned just now, that Timor-Leste have to work doubly hard for them to fulfill all the legal requirements, because much that we want to help them, but they have to help themselves also. There's so many legal instruments that have to fulfill, especially on economic sector pillars, about 66 legal instruments they have to fulfill, but we are talking about why not we rope them in first, then we give them certain number of years for them slowly but surely to fulfill and to comply with the requirement. That is the direction that we are looking at now. But we need a political decision by our leaders on Timor-Leste. All right? Cukuplah, banyak-banyak tanya, Pal. Satu soalan RM50.
Abdullah from Kuwait News Agency.
Siapa ni?
Here, sini.
Oh.
May I know the level of participation of GCC country, GCC and ASEAN summit? The level of participation.
What level are you talking?
The leadership.
Leaders? Oh yeah, they're sending the...
Is it compared to the Riyadh summit, similar to Riyadh summit participation?
You can wait until they all come here, arrive here. I'm not sure who is coming. Because they are very secretive. When the time of arrival also, we don't know. So you wait until they are here, then you can write who is coming.
Excellency, this is Samir Alawi from Al Jazeera.
How are you?
Thank you very much. Can you tell us why ASEAN hesitating to take strong, firm stand towards the issue in Palestine, especially when we are hearing you today morning raising this issue and telling that this issue is destroying the international law and also the peace all over the world?
What makes you say that we hesitate on the issue of Palestine? I think in my opening remark, I stated a very strong position on ASEAN with regards to Palestine. You should read. Do you have a copy of my opening remarks?
Yes, I've heard that. But is it your stand or ASEAN stand that to speak out or to take an action plan towards those people who are killing the children in Palestine?
Yeah, we are preparing what will be discussed by our leaders tomorrow. So I think that is a good start so that those issues will be discussed further by our leaders. Anything else? Cukup? Yes, my dear. I forgot my dear is the lady behind there, not you.
Datuk Seri, Eileen from the Associated Press.
Yeah.
Just on the issue of Myanmar, you talk about this proposal for the special, a permanent position for the special envoy to Myanmar. Is that already something that's confirmed, or it's just a proposal stage at this point?
That's a proposal stage, and everybody, for that matter, have no objection to that. But the operational, who going to be the permanent special envoy, I think will be discussed at some level, then we bring it back to the leaders. But basically, the idea of having a permanent envoy there is, I think we receive a very good response from all the respective state this morning.
Okay. Also, thank you. Just to follow up on the issue of Myanmar, where you said all you want for the SAC is to comply with the 5-point consensus and to move towards dialogue. Malaysia has taken this stance of trying to engage all sides, right? SAC, NUG, but you yourself said that there's a trust deficit. So I'm just wondering, are you getting any signals at all from the SAC that it is willing to do that? Because in the last 4 years, nothing has, it just refused to comply. So is there any signal that Malaysia is getting that things might change?
Slowly, we try to convince them, because 5-point consensus is also, they are the signatories. And I think 5-point consensus is acceptable to everybody. So actually 5-point consensus is nothing fantastic, because what we need to do is to have a ceasefire and unhindered humanitarian aid, special envoy, everything's there. And partly they have already done it, but they don't want to say it, they want to comply. So I'll be going to Menapidau again in June, not as a Malaysian Foreign Minister, but as Chairman of ASEAN. I'm going to talk to them further. Then we have to explore, we have to be patient. Because the warring section, this would have been against each other for decades. So it's not as simple as what we think. But I suppose with the recent calamity, the earthquake happened, I think everybody have come to their sense. I think that's a good opportunity. Like what happened in Aceh last time after this, what they call it, tsunami. Everybody come to their sense and they come and sit down and they can start talking to each other. I hope that it will happen.
Datuk Seri Utama.
Yes, please. Yes. Yeah. Give him that.
Thank you. Gabriel Dominguez from the Japan Times newspaper. Was the situation surrounding the maritime disputes in the South China Sea discussed? And are you planning to intensify negotiations on a maritime code of conduct with China? Is that something that it's being discussed now? And if so, when do you expect that code of conduct to be completed?
We don't discuss about China Sea just now because we are talking about ASEAN. Maybe perhaps tomorrow the leaders will talk about it. We don't know. But we didn't touch about South China Sea because we understand each other and we have what they call it, a good communication with each other about South China Sea. Cukuplah satu orang satu kali tanya, cukuplah. Berapa banyak kali pun tanya? Belum tanya lagi?
Datuk Seri Utama, maybe you can take one last question, Datuk Seri.
Pandangan terhadap kritikan yang mengatakan bahawa pendirian ASEAN yang tidak mahu campur tangan telah mengahadkan keupayaan dalam menangani konflik dalaman yang berlaku di Myanmar. Mungkin boleh beri pandangan sikit, Maybe?
Kita memang tak mau campur tangan dalam hal ehwal negara-negara dalam negara ASEAN. Itu kita punya dasar ASEAN. Ya? Tidak mahu campur tangan. Tinggal lagi, apa yang berlaku dalam negara Myanmar sekarang ini, dia tidak lagi confined to Myanmar. Dia dah jadi transnational, transborder crime dengan dia punya money laundering, dengan dia punya job scam, macam-macam sekali lah. Lepas tu, people been displaced, million of people been displaced. Malaysia sendiri terpaksa menguruskan 200 lebih ribu orang daripada Rohingya. Ini dah jadi masalah dalam ASEAN. Kita bukannya nak mencampuri hal ehwal dalaman mereka, tetapi dia dah menjadi sebagai isu ASEAN. Jadi itu sebabnya sebagai negara dalam ASEAN kita bersetuju untuk kita pastikan isu Myanmar ini ditangani sebaik mungkin bersama-sama sebagai melalui ASEAN mechanism. Alright.
One last question, Datuk Seri.
Okeylah, dia nanti dia menangnya nanti.
I think Datuk Seri dah terima banyak soalan pasal Myanmar. I will ask about Norman here from Nikkei. I would like to ask about the is there any discussions about the next upcoming collective effort to organize the US-ASEAN Special Summit, and when will it be, and what is the key agenda that we are planning to do on that? Thank you.
Prime Minister Anwar has already written to US requesting for a special summit, ASEAN-US special summit, sometime this year. We are still waiting response from the US side. Hopefully that we can get the good news. They can have a special ASEAN-US summit sometime later this year, inshallah. All right. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Datuk Seri Tama.